Picture a man who doesn't flinch when the world ignites around him. His silence suffocates chaos, his gaze slices through lies, and his very existence defies the rules everyone else blindly follows. Imagine someone who bends time, rewrites crises, and forges an identity so unshakable it sends shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to challenge it. This isn't a myth or a movie character. This is the Sigma male, a force of nature most men can't comprehend and will never become. You're about to discover what makes him tick, and it might just awaken something inside you. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we strip away the noise and dive deep into the raw, unfiltered essence of men who live life on their own terms. Today we're unpacking 11 terrifying things all Sigma males naturally do, behaviors so powerful, so instinctual, that most men would never even dare to try. These aren't just habits. They're the DNA of a mindset that thrives beyond the herd, rooted in strength, independence, and a stoic fire that never fades. Get ready, this is going to hit hard. 1. Their silence is a tactical void. Sigma males don't waste breath on chaos. They wield silence like a blade. When tempers flare and voices clash, they step back, creating a void so dense it swallows the room's energy whole. This isn't cowardice or retreat. It's a calculated strike, stripping opponents of the reaction they crave and forcing them to stew in their own words. Picture a barroom standoff. Insults fly, egos swell, but the Sigma stands still, lips sealed, eyes steady. His silence turns the aggressor's bravado into a desperate plea for attention, unraveling them without a single move. Most men scramble to fill the air with noise. The Sigma knows true power lies in withholding it, letting the vacuum expose weakness. This tactical void isn't random. It's a laboratory of observation. While others shout, he dissects. Who's posturing, who's genuine, who's worth his time. It's a filter forged from years of self-reliance, where every interaction is weighed against an internal code. He doesn't need to prove himself in the moment. His stillness is proof enough, a testament to a mind that doesn't bend to external heat. Think of a boardroom debate spiraling out of control. The Sigma's mute presence shifts the tide, his eventual words landing like a gavel because they're rare and deliberate. Rooted in a stoic calm, this silence reflects a man who's mastered his impulses. He's not swayed by the urge to lash out or defend. He's beyond it, grounded in a clarity that comes from knowing what's in his control and what's not. It's terrifying because it's unpredictable. You can't bait him, you can't read him, and when he finally speaks, it's with a precision that cuts deeper than any outburst. For the Sigma, silence isn't just absence. It's a weapon sharpened by discipline and wielded with intent. The effect. It leaves others scrambling. Most men thrive on reaction, needing validation to feel secure. The Sigma's refusal to play that game flips the script. In a world obsessed with noise, his quiet is a mirror reflecting everyone else's fragility, a challenge to step up or step aside. It's not just terrifying, it's a wake-up call to anyone paying attention. A reminder that real strength doesn't need a megaphone. 2. Their eyes are reality scanners. A Sigma male's gaze doesn't just meet yours. It pierces through, scanning layers you didn't even know you had. While others see what's on the surface, your smile, your handshake, he clocks the twitch in your jaw, the flicker in your pupils, the half-second pause before you answer. This isn't about staring you down. It's about seeing you truly with a clarity that feels almost invasive. Imagine a poker game. The table's loud with bluffs and bravado, but the Sigma's eyes lock on one player's subtle tell, a bead of sweat, a nervous tap, and he knows the hand before the cards hit the felt. This isn't some parlor trick. It's the result of a mind trained to observe without distortion. He's not clouded by emotion or distracted by flattery. He's present, fully, mapping reality as it unfolds. It's a skill honed in solitude, where he's learned to trust his own perception over the world's noise. Picture him at a party. While others chase small talk, he's quietly cataloging. The host's forced laugh, the guest who lingers too long by the door, building a mental blueprint of truth beneath the charade. Stoic wisdom fuels this, a focus on what is, not what he wishes or fears. He doesn't judge what he sees, he processes it, filing away insights for when they matter most. It's not personal, it's practical, a survival tool for a man who relies on no one but himself. When he acts on what he's seen, calling out a lie or sidestepping a trap, it's with a certainty that feels almost supernatural, but it's just razor-sharp awareness at work. What makes this terrifying? It strips away your armor. Liars squirm under that gaze, sensing their masks dissolving. Even the honest feel exposed, wondering what he's uncovered. Most men stumble through life half blind, reacting to shadows. The Sigma sees the light and the dark and he doesn't blink. That unflinching vision isn't just power, it's a challenge to everyone else to stop hiding and face reality head-on. 3. They rewrite crisis physics. When disaster strikes, Sigma males don't freeze, they redefine the moment. While others spiral into panic, their minds kick into a gear most can't fathom. Calm, cold, and ruthlessly efficient. It's not bravado or luck, it's a rewiring of how crises work, turning chaos into a chessboard where every move is deliberate. Think of a sinking ship. Passengers scream, crew fumbles, but the Sigmas already traced the escape routes, rallied the capable and secured the lifeboat, all without breaking a sweat. This isn't just instinct, it's preparation meeting opportunity. Years of self-mastery have taught him to strip away emotion and focus on what he can control, action, not fear. He doesn't waste energy on what's lost or lament the unfairness. He dissects the problem, finds the leverage points and executes. In a wildfire tearing through a town, he's the one directing neighbors to safety, calculating wind shifts, and saving what matters. While others run in circles, he's rewriting the rules of survival. Stoic resilience is the backbone here, accepting what can't be changed and dominating what can. It's a mindset that thrives under pressure, not because he loves it, but because he's ready for it. Every hardship he's faced has been a drill for this moment. That unshakable focus turns him into a beacon in the storm, but it's not comforting. It's eerie, a reminder of how fragile most people are when the stakes rise. The terror comes from the contrast. Most men crumble when the ground shakes, needing someone to lean on. The Sigma stands alone, rewriting the physics of the situation with a clarity that borders on inhuman. It's not just impressive, it's a gut punch to anyone who realizes they'd be lost without him. That self-contained strength doesn't inspire, it demands you question your own readiness, and that's what keeps you up at night. For, they manipulate time itself. Sigma males don't just live in time, they own it. That pause before he answers, that extra beat he lets hang in a tense standoff, it's not indecision. It's a power play, bending the rhythm of the moment to his will. He knows most people crack under silence, rushing to fill it with concessions or confessions, and he uses that against them. Imagine a negotiation. The other side pushes hard, expecting a quick counter, but the Sigma leans back, lets the clock tick and watches them sweat. By the time he speaks, they've already given up ground. This isn't random, it's a mastery of pace born from self-control. He's not swayed by urgency or pressured by deadlines. He dictates the tempo, forcing others to adapt or falter. It's a skill polished through years of standing apart, where he's learned that time is a weapon when you're not afraid to wield it. In a standoff with a bully, he doesn't flinch or rush. He waits, letting the aggressor's bravado erode under its own weight, turning impatience into defeat. Stoic presence drives this, living in the now, unburdened by past regrets or future worries. He's not distracted by what might happen. He's anchored in what is, stretching moments to test resolve or reveal truth. It's a quiet rebellion against a world obsessed with speed, where everyone else is racing to nowhere while he moves with purpose. That deliberate slowness isn't laziness, it's dominance, a flex of mental steel. Why is it terrifying? Because it exposes your own lack of control. Most men trip over themselves to keep up, slaves to the clock. The Sigma manipulates it, turning your haste into his advantage. You feel it when he waits you out, when your own words betray you in the silence he creates. It's not just unsettling, it's a lesson in who really holds the reins, and it's rarely you. 5. Their predictions feel like sorcery. Sigma males don't predict, they know, and it feels like witchcraft. By piecing together subtle cues, your tone, your timing, the way you shift when pressed, he maps out what's coming with a precision that defies logic. It's not guesswork, it's a mental algorithm, built from watching patterns repeat and humans stumble over the same flaws. Picture a friend venting about a risky move. The Sigma warns it'll backfire, and when it does, you're left wondering if he's got a crystal ball. He doesn't, just eyes that never stop working. This foresight comes from a life of quiet study. He's not loud about it, but he's always learning. Every betrayal, every triumph, every overheard whisper feeds his database of human nature. He's not emotional about it. He's clinical, connecting dots others don't even see. At a tense family dinner, he calls the argument before it starts. Uncle Joe's clenched fist, Aunt Sue's sharp tone, and sidesteps the fallout while everyone else dives in. Stoic rationality is the engine. He's not swayed by hope or fear, just facts and probabilities. He doesn't wish for outcomes, he anticipates them, grounded in a wisdom that cuts through illusion. It's a strength born from facing reality head-on, not flinching when it's ugly or inconvenient. That clarity lets him move through life like he's already seen the script, while the rest of us fumble through the dark. The terror hits when you realize he's right, again. Most men rely on luck or bravado, blind to what's brewing. The Sigma's foresight makes him untouchable, a step ahead in a game you didn't know you were playing. It's not just impressive, it's haunting, a glimpse into a mind that sees through time itself. You're left questioning what else he's already figured out about you, and that's the kind of chill that lingers. 6. They are social kryptonite. Sigma males don't bend to social gravity, they break it. Flattery, guilt trips, peer pressure. It all slides off like water on steel, leaving manipulators grasping at air. He doesn't care about your rank, your title, or your clout. His worth isn't tied to your approval, and that alone makes him a walking paradox. Picture a clique trying to pull him in with praise. He nods, walks away, and they're left stunned. Most men would have begged for a seat at the table, but he doesn't even see the table. This isn't defiance for show, it's a byproduct of self-sufficiency. He's built his own world, with rules and values that don't flex for the crowd, honed through years of standing alone. He's not here to rebel. He's here to exist, and if that disrupts your game, that's your problem. At a corporate mixer, he skips the ass-kissing, talks straight to the point, and leaves the ladder climbers choking on their own scripts. His indifference is a wrecking ball to their fragile egos. Stoic freedom runs deep here. He's not chained to what others think, only to what he knows is right. That unshakable core lets him move through social mazes like a ghost, untouched, unbought, unbowed. It's not about being rude or aloof, it's about being whole, a man who doesn't need your nod to sleep soundly. That kind of autonomy isn't just rare, it's a middle finger to every system that thrives on conformity. Why is it terrifying? Because it exposes the puppet strings most men dance on. You can't bribe him, shame him, or hurt him. He's immune, a living glitch in the social matrix. For those who rule by influence, he's a threat they can't counter. For the rest, he's a mirror showing how much they've surrendered. That kind of power doesn't just unsettle, it dismantles everything you thought you knew about control. 7. They keep a ledger of consequences. Sigma males don't forgive and forget, they track. Every promise broken, every slight delivered, every test of their trust gets logged in a mental vault, not for revenge but for reference. It's not petty, it's pragmatic, a system to map who's solid and who's sand. Imagine a coworker who's burned him twice. The Sigma doesn't rage or sulk, he adjusts, cutting access, keeping distance, and moving on while the guy wonders why the door's suddenly locked. This ledger isn't emotional, it's cold data, a tool for navigating a world full of variables. He's not out to settle scores, he's out to protect his peace, using past actions as a compass for future moves. He's learned the hard way that people reveal themselves over time, and he's not naive enough to ignore the evidence. When a friend asks for a favor after flaking once too often, the Sigma's no isn't spite, it's a boundary drawn from a record no one else sees. Stoic justice shapes this. Actions have weight and he holds them to account, not with drama but with quiet resolve. He's not swayed by apologies unless they're backed by change. Words are cheap and he's not buying. It's a mindset that values integrity over sentiment, built from a life where self-reliance means knowing who you can lean on, and who you can't. That clarity keeps him steady when others waver. The terror lies in its invisibility. You don't know you're being weighed until the verdict drops. Trust revoked, connection severed, all without a word of warning. Most men stumble through life oblivious, assuming second chances are infinite. The Sigma's ledger says otherwise, a silent tally that makes you question every move you've made. It's not just chilling, it's a call to live with accountability whether you're ready or not. They turn discomfort into fuel. Sigma males don't dodge pain, they hunt it. While others cling to ease, he's out there chasing the hard stuff. A brutal workout, a sleepless project, a trek through nowhere with nothing but his wits. This isn't about suffering for kicks. It's about growth, turning every ache into a brick in the wall of his resilience. Picture him in the rain, fixing a busted engine while others wait for a tow. Most would curse the cold. He uses it to sharpen his edge. This isn't blind toughness, it's strategy. He knows life doesn't spare anyone, so he trains for the inevitable, building a mind and body that laugh at adversity. Every sting is a lesson, every struggle a forge. He's not running from discomfort, he's mining it for strength. In a freezing cabin with no heat, he's the guy splitting wood at dawn, not because he has to, but because he wants the test. Others huddle and complain, he thrives. Stoic grit is the spark, embracing what's tough to master what's essential. He doesn't fear the grind, he welcomes it, knowing it's the raw material of a life worth living. It's a choice to face the storm head-on, not because it's noble but because it's useful. Every hardship he conquers makes him harder to break. That deliberate hunger for challenge sets him apart, a man who doesn't just survive but evolves. Why is it terrifying? Because it forces you to look at your own excuses. Most men shrink from the smallest inconvenience, whining about what's unfair. The Sigma turns it into fuel and leaves them in the dust. It's not inspiring, it's a slap, a glaring spotlight on how much you've settled for. That relentless drive doesn't just intimidate, it dares you to step up, and most won't. 9. Their influence is subconscious warfare. Sigma males don't lead with noise, they shift you without you knowing. A single question, a raised brow, a pause that lingers too long, and suddenly you're rethinking your stance, chasing his logic, bending to his frame. He doesn't bark orders or flex power. He plants seeds that grow in your head until you're convinced it's your idea. Imagine a debate. He drops one line, "Why rush that?" And the room pivots, chasing his drift while he sits back, untouched. This isn't manipulation, it's mastery of presence. He's so rooted in his own clarity that it ripples out, pulling others into his orbit without force. He's learned that real influence isn't loud, it's deep, a quiet current that moves mountains while barely stirring the surface. At a tense meeting he asks, "What's the cost if we're wrong?" And the team's charging down his path, oblivious to how he steered them. Stoic strength fuels this, living so true to himself that others can't help but follow. He doesn't need to dominate, he is, and that authenticity carries a weight most can't resist. It's not about control, it's about conviction, a mind so sharp it cuts through doubt and drags you along. That subtle pull is his edge, a power that works because it doesn't shout. The terror? You don't see it coming. Most men flex and posture, telegraphing every move. The Sigma's influence creeps in, rewires your choices, and leaves you wondering how you got there. It's not just effective, it's haunting, a reminder that real power doesn't need a stage. You're left questioning your own will, and that's a shadow that doesn't fade. 10. They weaponize self-reliance. Sigma males don't lean, they stand. While others scramble for help or validation, he's built a fortress of skills, knowledge, and grit that answers to no one. He's not just independent, he's a one-man system ready to fix the car, cook the meal, or outthink the problem while the world waits for rescue. Think of a blackout. Neighbors panic, calling for aid. The Sigma's already rigged a generator, calm as ever, because needing less is his ultimate weapon. This isn't isolation, it's liberation. Every tool he masters, every weakness he patches, is a chain broken from the herd's dependencies. He's not afraid to ask for help, he just doesn't need it, and that freedom lets him move through life unbound. In a stranded group, he's the one finding water, building shelter, while others cling to hope. He doesn't hope, he does, turning scarcity into strength. Stoic self-sufficiency is the root, relying on his own reason and resources, not fate or favor. He's not swayed by promises of support or crippled by their absence. His world runs on his terms, built from the ground up. It's a life stripped of fat, where every piece serves a purpose, and that lean efficiency makes him a force. He's not here to prove it, he just lives it, and the proof is in the results. Why is it terrifying? Because it's a glaring middle finger to fragility. Most men falter without a crutch, friends, systems, excuses. The Sigma doesn't, and that gap is a chasm. It's not just awe-inspiring, it's a brutal wake-up call showing how much you've outsourced your own power. That kind of independence doesn't just intimidate, it demands you rethink everything, and most won't dare. 11. They forge identity in solitude's fire. Sigma males aren't shaped by the world, they're born in the void. While others cling to labels, worker, husband, leader, he strips them away, retreating to solitude to face himself raw. It's not escape, it's a forge where he hammers out who he is with no one else's voice in the mix. Picture him alone on a mountain, no phone, no noise. Just him and the wind, wrestling doubts into clarity until what's left is pure, unbreakable steel. This isn't loneliness, it's creation. He doesn't need applause or mirrors to know his worth. He finds it in the quiet, testing his limits, refining his core. Every hour alone is a crucible, burning off what's weak, leaving only what's true. In a cabin with no lights, he's not hiding. He's building, piecing together a self that doesn't bend when the crowds return. Stoic reflection drives this, facing the self without flinching, seeking truth over comfort. He's not running from life, he's preparing for it, crafting an identity that answers to no one but him. It's a strength that comes from knowing every flaw and every edge, a man who's fought his own shadows and won. That process isn't pretty, it's primal and it's his alone. The terror? It's a man who can't be swayed. Most men shift with the tide, molded by opinions or fear. The Sigma's forged in a fire they'll never touch, a presence so solid it feels alien. It's not just impressive, it's a gut punch, a challenge to find your own flame when you've spent your life dodging the heat. That kind of self-made soul doesn't just stand out, it haunts. You've just walked through the 11 terrifying things all Sigma males naturally do. Traits that don't just set them apart but carve a path most will never tread. This isn't a checklist, it's a mirror, reflecting a strength and independence that's already in you, waiting to be unleashed. At Sigma Male Community, we're not here to coddle or preach, we're here to fuel your fire, to arm you with the wisdom and grit to live life on your own damn terms. If this hit you hard, if it sparked something real, don't let it fade, act on it, own it and make it yours. Subscribe right now, hit that bell and lock in with us, because this journey's just getting started and we're not slowing down. Drop a like if you felt the weight of this, comment which trait hit you deepest and share this with the rare few who'd get it, because Sigma Male Community isn't just a channel, it's a call to rise, to master yourself, and to leave the herd choking on your dust. Let's keep this rolling, together, unapologetically and unstoppable.